Dr. Blaise Ijebo, who is the Director, Risk Management Department, Central Bank of Nigeria, who will deliver a keynote reflecting on Nigeria at 65 and, of course, how we intend to shape the next 65 years. Please make a round of applause for him.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's an honor to be in your midst this evening. They've asked me to speak about Nigeria 65, what will happen in the next 65 years. Permit me to say the next 65 years, almost all of us, apart from City's son, who is sitting over there, will be dead. So, like the economists say, in the long run, we'll all be dead. In 65 years, I don't expect that I will be around here much longer. But permit me to say a few things before I give my thoughts. First thing I want to say is that whatever I will be saying today is my thoughts. I'm obviously not going to be making any policy statements today. So if you hear anything that sounds like a policy statement, you didn't hear right. So it is not a policy statement, it is just my thoughts. So that's the first thing. So the second thing is I'm representing the governor of the central bank. Unfortunately, he's not able to be with us today. He has other commitments, and he's asked me to come here and to speak to you. So I'll be speaking to you. Permit me also to stand on existing protocols. I didn't know if any was established, but whatever was established, permit me to stand on those protocols. I generally don't like standing on protocols established by others because I'm a risk manager, and I think the risk of standing on what somebody else has built is always very high because you tend to fall under the weight of their structure. Having said that, Nigeria is 65. And anybody in this room who is 65 years old will know that at 65, you have a lot of pains. Some pains that happen in the morning, some pains that happen at night, and some pains that happen during the afternoons. Life at 65 is characterized by pains. And as a country, we are also facing some pains. The good news is that we have come a long way from where we were 65 years ago. We have achieved a lot. I refuse to be part of those who think Nigeria has not achieved anything, or Nigeria is a failed state, or Nigeria is not doing well. I think we've missed a lot of opportunities. We could have been a lot further from where we want, closer to where we want to be than where we are today. But we have achieved a lot. And we must recognize the fact that we have achieved a lot, because it's only on the back of what you've achieved over time that you can ride to achieve a lot more. If you think you are a failure, guess what? You will be a failure even in the future. So I believe that Nigeria is a success, and I believe that we will succeed in the future. So what gives me this positive thinking, this positive feeling? Very simple. I want to focus on the last 2 or 3 years because I think that's a good place to start. In the last 2 or 3 years, especially with the coming of the Tinubu administration, we have seen some things change that we thought would never change. And we need to celebrate those things. So what are they? For instance, one of the key things that I believe has changed, and I think we should celebrate more, is the simple thing that we now produce 1.68 million barrels of oil, of crude oil, per day. At a point in the history of Nigeria, we thought producing 1.1 million barrels of oil per day was the maximum we could ever do. But today, we are doing 1.68. which is much, much closer to the 2 million barrels per day that is our quota. And the fact that we have gotten this far says to me that we can even get further. One of the big things, and I was just talking to my good friend Matthew over there, and he was arguing with me about inflation. I'm sure that many of you knew when inflation rate was 34% or 36% or even more. Today, inflation is 18%. That's something we should celebrate. I know of countries who have had inflation in the 30% and have never been able to come down. We've come down significantly, and if we continue to work hard, we will continue to bring inflation rate down. And he was saying to me, is it really true that inflation is coming down? And I said, yeah, go check. Go check. For those of you who are women who go to market, who go to the stores, because I look around here, there are very few women, I think, who go to market here. They all go to supermarkets. So you will know that rice price have come down from 90-something thousand per bag to about 60,000 per bag. That's a significant drop. All right? Well, you know, the thing with 11,000 was that at the time we were buying at 11,000, the FX rate was what? You know, so the truth of the matter is that yes, things have gone up, but things are getting better, and things will get better. One of the things that I say is that our non-oil exports have also significantly increased. Today, we talk about 96% of our GDP is from the non-oil sector. At a point in this country, 90% of our GDP came from oil revenues. Today, the reverse is the case. And I think that if we are honest to ourselves, we have seen significant improvement, and we can build on that improvement. I've talked about general terms, but let me come to the CBN, because I think that perhaps is what I'm most qualified to talk about. We know that the CBN, our focus is twin focus. One is exchange rate stability and financial system stability. With regards to exchange rate stability, I will say this: if you are in Nigeria or you have been in Nigeria in the last few years, you will know that we have come from a point where exchange rate was changing every day in the upward direction to a situation today where exchange rate is coming down on a day well, at least it is stable and it's coming down gradually. At a point we were touching 2,000 naira to a dollar, and they were all prediction that it was going to get to 2,500. Today, we are more around 1,400 and something. That's a significant gain. And we must acknowledge that something has happened and something has been done to achieve that amount of appreciation in the naira. And this is a point that perhaps you should clap for the CBN. One of the things that we have also done and we have worked hard to do is to bring down inflation. Many people said when we came up with all the tightening and all of that, they said, look, you are wasting time. Tightening is not going to help the inflation. It's not going to make anything happen. But today, I can tell you that that tightening has achieved its objective of bringing down inflation. And don't only believe me, you can also listen to what the rating agencies are saying about Nigeria. Moody's increased our rating to B3. Fitch has increased our rating to B. These all point to one thing. They believe more, and they think that the reforms we are making is achieving its purpose. One of the things that the governor, Olayemi Cardoso, focused on when he came in as governor is essentially two things: growth, stability, without impacting on transparency and accountability. And what does that mean? It means we want to grow this economy. We want to make things work in such a way that there is transparency. And one of the key things that we have done in that area is ensure that in the foreign exchange market, there is enough transparency that everybody can see and understand what the rate of the naira is at any given time. We cleared the situation where we had 4 or 5 or even more different exchange rates. And today we have one exchange rate. And I think that's an achievement. Because even the black market rate today, the difference between the black market rate and the official market rate is below the 10% margin that the World Bank considers as multiple exchange rates. So a lot of good work has been done. And that, I think, is a great foundation for us to build the next 65 years. Let me say a few words about where I think we should be going in the next 65 years. I think one of the great things that this country has going for it is the energy, the intellect, and the ability and the skills of its young people. And I think one of the big disservices that we can do to ourselves is not to create a platform for them to achieve their aspirations and for them to be the best that they can be. And that's why, as the Central Bank of Nigeria, we are committed to creating a level playing field for everyone to prosper, including our young people, especially our young people. I'm sure many of you would have heard the governor speak to young people in his governor's annual address to young people, and that was done a few months ago at the London Business School. And that's going to be a continuing theme, that we are going to focus on how do we help the young people to be the best that they can be. I also must thank the President, Tinubu, for the NEFON. And I think that's a great, great initiative to give students the opportunity to go to school without having to worry about the cost of going to school. They can borrow enough to pay their school fees. They can borrow enough to maintain themselves through their university days. And I think that will create a great platform for growth in the future. I also think that we need to create a platform for industry to do well. The government has said they want to achieve a $1 trillion economy in 8 years. The only way you can achieve a $1 trillion economy in 8 years is to make sure that every part of the economy is pulling its weight and doing the best that they can do. The only way they can do the best they can do is if everybody, every industry, have the same opportunity, the same numbers, the same statistics to achieve what they are going to achieve. If one person can get dollar at 400 and another person has to get it at 1,000, that's not a level playing field. We must create a level playing field where all industries have the opportunity to work and to achieve the best that they can achieve. Finally, I look forward to the next 65 years with a lot of excitement. I look forward to a Nigeria where a lot of the achievements we have seen in the arts, in music, in technology, in digital platforms, that those will drive our economy to a new place where we'll all be proud of the Nigeria that we all belong to. Finally, I totally enjoy these kind of events. And the reason why I enjoy it is because these are the places where we harvest new ideas, new opportunities on how we can move Nigeria forward. And I am looking forward to the report of this summit to give us new ideas, new opportunities, new partnerships to grow the economy and to make the financial system more stable. My thanks go to the organizers, Camelia and Anita, who's spearheading the organization. I thank them very much. I thank all of you for attending, and I wish you the very, very best in what you do. God bless.